What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails of Cold Steel 3. Last time we finished off Chapter 3, as you can see, Pulse of Steel, which finished off our adventures in the Lamar region. Class 7 headed back to Thor's, and things pretty well after we got done fighting Aryan Rod and the Stall Ritter. And then we saw that the Lance Maiden herself, or Steel Maiden, I guess as she's called now, also has a Divine Knight looking thing. So that was fun. But we basically get a little prelude into what's going to happen, where we see Angelica going outside of Heimdallar to look at Crow's grave to make sure his body is actually there to figure out what's going on with Azure Siegfried. But she was able to tell, even though it was a really good dummy, it was still a dummy. It's not Crow's actual body. There's no sign of decay or anything, so that just kind of proves that it's not his actual body. Which means the body of the Azure Siegfried, even though it's wearing a mask, is most likely Crow. As to why he doesn't recognize them or know them, I guess we're going to have to wait and see on that. But it pretty much ends with Angelica being found out by George and whoever George is working for as part of the gnomes. And George essentially ends up shooting Angelica, and it fades to black. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens with Angelica. But for now, we're going to start Chapter 4 and presumably go back to normal life over in Thor's Military Academy. So let's go ahead and get started. Norsha Province, northern area, skies above the Isengard Range. Imperial family's high-speed cruiser, the Courageous. Who's on it, though? Oh, right. Isn't this, Cedric has control of it right now? Yeah. It's the main campus, on here. All these other students seem super laid back. Of course, they have their own soldats. You got some Imperial Army people on here as well. Oh, is that Alan? Hugo is here too. That's right, Hugo is working with the Imperial government in some capacity. Viscount Victor S. Arcade. Good to see him again.
現在、アイゼンガルド連邦西部上空を通過中。予定では14時10分に帝都圏に到達する見込みです。
速度と進路を維持。アレスター近郊に到着後は鉄道路線に並行して飛行せよ。
イエスキャプテン。
お疲れ様です。閣下。
Oh, Nightheart.
この1週間、本当にお世話になりました。
何？これも赤き翼の役目というものだ。期間こそノーザンブリアでの初演習。さぞ気苦労も多かったであろう。お疲れ様であったな。
正直、どのように評し、どう諭すべきか迷っています。
クレイグ殿の薫陶の賜物というべきか。とにかく今は機関の信念を示し続けるしかなかろう。そうすればきっと。
あ、教官、こちらにいましたか。
アルノール候補生。
ごきげんよう、殿下。
しかしさすがは赤き翼ですね。内戦でほとんど使われることのなかった手法も大したものでしたし、今後飛行艦隊にも同等の巡洋艦を数隻配備すべきかもしれません。
候補生
確かに返事においては役立つ力ではありましょう。そうした力の使いようとぜひ今回の演習で学ばれたのであれば有意義であったのではないかと。
ええ、もちろんです。お疲れ様でした、アルゼイド艦長。またの機会があることを祈っています。それと帝都の夏至祭での紹介任務、兄上と共によろしくお願いします。
Some secret that they were trying to not let him find out about? Cedric has become so, like, sinister, though, compared to the sweet little boy he was previously. Guess we can thank Osborne for that. Alright, Heimdallar. Get to see it in glorious HD. I mean, obviously, this game is still relatively... I think Cold Steel 3 in Japan came out in, like, It was either 2015 or 2016, I believe. I think it was 2016. Maybe. Yeah, and then I think Cold Steel 4 was 2018. In Japan. What the heck? Those kids are, like, disappearing.
Kusso! これで何回目だ。キリがないぞ。やはり鉄道憲兵隊や情報局の力を借りるしか。
やれやれ、あの程度であれば助かるが。今はまだ捕捉されるわけにはいかん。帝国まで3回。ラムダはいつでも使えるようにしておけ。
Ram does.
ラジャー。任務を再開します。
They're obviously part of some group.
赤い花。
Well, this is... Uh-oh. This is the ground beneath the capital. Was that Vita?
本当にキリがないわね。
It is.
奇跡をもたらす存在の目にしてよりしろ。幻は炎に飲み込まれ、おとぎ話も帝国に取り込まれた。それで専門家としてはどう介入するつもりなのかしら。
いやー、バレバレでしたか。正直取っかかりがなくて困ってましてね。
Thomas?
できればお近づきになって情報交換できないかなと。よかったら長殿との仲立ちもお手伝いさせていただきますよ。
そういえば協定とやらを結んでいたそうね。まあそれについては検討させてもらうとして、せいぜいお手柔らかにお願いするわ。トールズ本校元歴史学教官、いいえ第2位箱使いトマス・ライサンダー卿。
Second Dominion. The right hand of the leader of all the dominions. So I guess Thomas stopped teaching. I mean, obviously. I'm sure teaching was just kind of like with Wazzy and Kevin was just... I mean, Kevin did the worst of... yeah, I'd say Kevin did the worst of keeping his identity a secret, possibly, because he was still going around as a church guy. But then again, Wazzy's group was named the Testaments. So that was kind of a giveaway. Hard to say which of them really did the best at hiding who they are. Valflame Palace, Esmola's Garden. Yeah, we never got to see the inside of Valflame Palace, like, proper, because when we went inside, it was contorted and everything. When it became the, whatever it was called. At the end of Cold Steel 2, when it got all warped. The Emperor and his wife. Emperor Eugent III. And Empress Priscilla.
まさかオリバルト殿下が祝賀会を欠席されるなんて。
They have voices this time.
仕方あるまい。あのようなことがあったばかりだ。赤き翼が帝都の空を守るならば、民もさぞ安らごう。
ですが殿下に申し訳なくて、ただでさえセドリックのことで気を悪くされているでしょうし。
その程度で不快となるオリバルトではあるまい。
At least he knows his son.
そなたもよく知っているようにな。
そうですわね。
Aww.
お母様を失い、高級に引き取られたばかりの男の子。駒遣い上がりのママ母のことなど邪険にされてもおかしくないのに、殿下は私を受け入れ、アルフィンやセドリックの誕生を心より喜んでくださいました。
それがあれの人徳だろう。
You can tell how very proud of him they are.
帝国だけでなく、大陸各地に友がいるのもうなずける話だ。
それなのに、最近のセドリックはあれほど慕っていた兄君を。
両陛下、失礼します。オズボーン閣下が拝謁を賜りたいとのことですが。
Oh, I bet he would.
わかった。通してくれ。
Yeah, we don't need an introduction.
おくつろぎのところ失礼いたします。陛下、ブリシラ様も。
いいえ、お役目お疲れ様です。それでは私は下がらせていただきますね。
やはり殿下のことでご不快にさせているようですな。
こればかりは致し方あるまい。そもそも妃とそなたで見えているものが違う以上は
御意。
Yeah, I imagine she's not Osborne's biggest fan.
それよりもいよいよ師匠の通りとなってきたわけか。
The Black Records?
内戦についてはタイミングを図りましたが、全てがそれに至りつつあるのは確かでしょう。ですが、よろしいのですか？このまま私に任せても。
14年前に言った通りだ。
Hmm?
それが避けられぬのなら、まずはそなたに任せると決めた。息子たちには苦労をかけてしまうだろうが、それについてはそなたも同じであろう。
Yes, Your Majesty.
Yeah. All right, Chapter 4, Radiant Heimdallar. Well, that should tell you where we're going next. All right, let's skip ahead from the 20th of June to July 4th. 4th of July. How do you like that? We're actually close. It's July 6th right now, so 2 more days. It'll line up with where we are now. With July, summer was in full swing and leaves. Are people going to be wearing their summer uniforms, not wearing the jacket? Oh, hi, Monk. Oh, nope, they're all dressed normally. However, with Thor's move back to being a traditional military academy, no summer uniforms are given out. Oh. Students at I'm sure this is their excuse to just not have to design more uniforms, but students at both the main and branch campuses were only allowed to remove the inner lining from their normal uniforms. Okay, so just one less layer. It would be nice if they just keep the same uniforms, but just give them like short sleeve shirts at least. As students across both campuses were wilting under the sun's harsh rays, a certain event was about to take place that would bring them all together. What's that? Is it the whatever's gonna go on in Heimdallar? 4th period, Erebonian history. Up until now, we've covered an overview of the time period from the Great Collapse to the Modern Era. But starting this week, we'll be taking a more in-depth look at certain key individuals. Starting with Dreikel's Rise Arnor, father of the Imperial Renaissance. I love how he's like chalking the board, but they're in an area where there's nothing. 250 years ago, he brought the War of the Lions to a close, ushering us into the modern era. I wonder how hard it is while teaching to not like bring in the Black Record stuff. Though he was born as third prince of Emperor Valius V, he was born out of wedlock and ended up abdicating his status and wandering the Empire. He found himself at the edge of the Empire, the Nord Highlands, where he was welcomed by the nomadic tribes and spent a few years with them. Meanwhile, the Empire's mainland had been plunged into a bloody civil war. Originally, he had no interest in the throne, but once he saw the toll the war was taking on his country, he decided to put an end to it. He started with only 17 followers, 16 Nord warriors who decided to join him, and his confidant, the Knight Roland. Half a year later, though, Prince Dreikel's would have a fateful encounter in the southeast of the Empire, Legram. Oh, well, here we go. The daughter of a count and leader of the Eisenritter, Leanne Sandlot. The hero, otherwise known as the Lance Maiden. Yeah, I've been wondering the same. It's kind of hard with these field studies to not want to ask those questions. Saint Leanne is a legendary knight. There's no way it was actually her, but I heard the fight was intense. Well, instructor?
確かに凄まじい腕前で本物としか思えないオーラだった。だが結社という犯罪組織の一員が聖女を語っている可能性もある。そのあたりは保留にしておこう。ますます興味深い。
By the way, 250 years ago today, on July 4th, the War of the Lions came to an end. Now keep in mind, the test will cover the events from just before to just after the War of the Lions. So make sure to review that time period thoroughly. I hate to admit it, but he really is good at teaching. Well, to be fair, he himself was a student just last year. I heard his grades were pretty high too. He looks great in glasses too. Even if they're fake. Homeroom time. This is obviously the day before the free day. Anyway, our 4 days of midterm. Oh, no, it's midterms. Oh, so there is going to be no free day. Our 4 days of midterms will begin tomorrow. General studies, military science, arts, information processing, combat technique. There'll be a lot to cover, so good luck. Phew, you rattled those all off like it'll be easy. No way all that is going to be easy. I suppose we'll simply have to trust in everything we've learned this year. By the by, a little birdie told me the contents of our exams and the schedule match that of the main campus. I wonder, will our grades be posted alongside theirs? That's right, both individual scores and class averages will be posted at both campuses. So it should be worth your time to study, wouldn't you agree? It's so blatant. So you're going to make us compete. And our little crown prince is going to be handed first place on a silver platter, yeah? I can totally see that happening. No, that won't happen. In the past, stores were split up into nobles and commoners, but grading has always been done fairly. The instructors I know at the main campus won't let grades be tampered with like that. So at the very least, the exams will be a level playing field. If you say so. There'll also be a little reward waiting for you guys once the exams are over. You have a free day this weekend to look. Oh, okay, so there's one. Look forward to, so give your exams your all. I'll be giving the exams for Erebonian history and combat techniques, so please ask me anything you're confused about before tomorrow. Oh boy, midterms. All preparations for the exams have been completed. Grades will be posted alongside the main campus, but I don't expect there to be problems. Our curriculums should be in sync thanks to the OrbitalNet. It's great we were able to work with the main campus instructors to come up with exam questions. All that's left is for the students themselves to show us what they've got. Jaeger Corps have been confirmed retreating from the Empire since last month's field studies. And according to the Intelligence Division, it would appear the Society is withdrawn as well. I see. Well, if that's true, it's great news, but maybe we can stop being fully clenched all the time now? We cannot let our guards down completely, but for the time being, we can at least allow them to just be students. Take care not to disclose any information regarding exam questions, but feel free to clarify any questions the students have. Be a simple guiding hand to their studies. Well, he does care at least a bit. Looks like big bad Mr. Michael has really toned it down. He's always been very serious and responsible, but it seems like he's been thinking with the students in mind recently. Let's do our best to be as much help to the students as we can today. Right, we still have some time before the school closes for the day. Well then, let's split up, gang. Well, that's that. The exams will be held over the next 4 days, and then this Sunday is a free day. The location for our next field exercises will be announced too, so it's going to be a busy few days. Yuna, going to the library with Leonora. Looks like everyone's working together to brush up on their weak subjects. Guess I'll make my rounds to talk to any students who look like they're having a tough time. That aside. Yeah. Ouroboros in the Black Workshop. I wonder if the principal and the professor would know anything about them. Oh man, is Schmidt gonna know about George? Possibly? Today is a free day before the exam. Talk to specific characters today to trigger study events. Okay. Oh, a bunch of thank you messages. You know, how to put this without sounding silly. Thank you for such a nice present. It's such a beautiful and elegant design that I didn't even realize it was a pinky ring at first. I thought it was an engagement ring, which would have been fine by me, really. Just kidding, duh. Uh-huh. Thanks a ton, Reen. I'll be sure to show it off on a special occasion. Damn, she really threw me for a second. Ah, whatever, I'm just glad she likes it. What a bold boy you are. Sending a woman perfume, Master Reen? My, are you ever bold. And I happen to love the smell of roses. I'll be certain to wear this next time I see you. I will, of course, be keeping this a secret from Lady Alisa, as should you. Maybe I pushed it if it's a gift we have to keep a secret. Well, she clearly likes it, that's all that matters. Elise, thanks to you. I tried that white soap you sent me. The results were wonderful. Using it makes me feel moisturized as when I bathed in the hot springs at home. I'd let you see it for yourself if I could. Perhaps I'll set aside for the next hot springs visit. Not sure about that. We're old enough that we shouldn't really be bathing together anymore. It's nice that she's already making use of the soap at least. Yeah, probably right. It tasted divine. The Eastern tea you sent me was just delicious, Reen. I did have a difficult time bringing out its true essence, mind. Eastern and Western teas are prepared very differently, I've come to learn. I think you would be much better at it. I'd love it if you could teach me your ways. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that when I gave it to her. I like the idea of teaching her how to prepare it, though. Alright, that was nice. Oh god! Hi, Michael. What do we got going on here? Creating clean water during a disaster. Prepare a container, pack bottom with a cloth. Pack charcoal, sand, and pebbles in that order. Pour water from above and wait. This is something they teach actual soldiers on the front lines. I'll need to make sure everyone memorizes this. Okay. Wonder if I should get the other stuff first, though. Oh, hey, Linde. Exams are tomorrow. Oh, I'm so anxious. I'm sure Instructor Beatrix came up with a comprehensive set of questions. Marine, do me a favor and make sure to tell all the students to really study, okay? I will. But Linde, you really need to relax. You won't make it through the week at this rate. You're right, I'm sorry. This is where we usually find Michael. I guess we can see what's up with Yuna. Why is the Empire history stuff so tricky for me? You get any of this, Leo? I can help you with the crossbow stuff. I'm all set when it comes to stuff about the ocean, but anything else I'm a lost case. I get it's important to know history so you can learn from it. But do we really gotta memorize all these names and dates? Well, I feel like my head's gonna explode. Seems like they're cramming for the history exams. They look pretty focused. Maybe I can help them out a bit. Oh! Okay, so it's a bonding, you spend bonding points. Hey, Yuna, Leonora, sounds like you two might be having some trouble. Instructor Reen. Well, you're kind of at the root of our problems right now. I guess that's one way to put it. As my way of apologizing, how about I help you study? For real? Oh man, that'd be great. This part we covered in class just recently. The War of the Lions began in 947. Can you name 3 events that directly led to it? Let's see. The War of the Lions was a battle over succession. So the first reason was the death of Emperor Valius V. Yeah, that's exactly right. The next is the assassination of Prince Manfred, right? He was supposed to be the emperor. But isn't that just two things? Well, to be fair, the third reason's a little tricky, but it's also the most direct cause of the war. All the remaining princes tried to claim the throne at once. Oh, that's right. I get it. I wonder if we're actually going to have to answer this ourselves when we get to exam day. I forget. The first one to try and seize the throne was the fourth prince, Orthros. Then it was 2 years after the war that Prince Draco's raised an army to put an end to it. When you explain it in steps like that, it's easier to understand. Yeah, there's a lot to remember, but I feel like it's better organized in my head now. Glad to help. No matter how the question is actually written, as long as you understand the sequence of events, you should be able to answer. Hate to admit it, but he's kind of reliable. Why don't you just appreciate him for what he is? I hope I was able to help you guys, even a little. Oh, and while I'm here, let me go over the different battlefields with you. After that, Reen continued to explain. Very cool. Alright, a little bit closer with Yuna. Alright, what else we got on this floor? Anything? Who's this over here? Oh, right. Aurelia with glasses on? I didn't even know she needed glasses. There we are. Oh, Principal Le Guin, you wear glasses? That's a little surprising. Well, actually, for some reason, my vision is unusually keen. I can see everything in excruciating detail from up close to a great distance away. Sometimes I find myself getting annoyed by specks of dust floating in the air. So her vision is so good, she needs glasses to make it worse? Of course she would. So to combat this issue, I commissioned these glasses to suppress my vision. That's somehow not surprising at all. All that's left to do for the exams tomorrow is leave them to the students. Is there something you'd like to ask me about Ouroboros, perhaps? Yeah, so you knew. What are your thoughts about the report that Jaegers and Ouroboros have pulled out of Erebonia? I'd certainly recommend taking it with a grain of salt. The Ions, the Black Workshop, there are far too many unseen forces at work here. Yeah, I agree. Regarding the Maiden, we've reached an answer of sorts. For better or worse. Huh? She definitely called upon her full power to fight the two of us. But what if there was something more to her, something beyond the power of a human? If she's out of the picture for good, then that's fine. Otherwise, we need to be ready for her. And by we, I mean all of you. Understood. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Oh. So I guess whenever we have her back in the party, we can change her her look. Alright, we'll check in on a couple more people before ending the video. Are you helping these two study, Toa? Yep, sure am. These two were both a little worried about questions on politics. Not to mention all the recent changes in the political landscape. The dissolution of the House of Representatives and the House of Peers, the establishment of the Central Deet, and the 8 Metropolis Plan. It's all modern history, too. That's always so interesting. Like, I remember being in school, there was never a point where you learned really about modern history. It was never really talked about. It was always just, like, stuff, like, way far in the past. It all sounds like some foreign language. I feel your pain. If you have the time, would you mind helping us out, Reen? There's only so much I can cover on my own. Yeah, sure thing. Okay. So if it's not Reen's actual students, it's just a very quick thing. Hey, you three. Oh, Instructor Reen. You all studying for the test together? Yes, we're going over things subject by subject and teaching each other the ones we know best. My specialty is the medical field. Leave survival skills to me. Shocking. And finally, I'm in charge of physics. Sounds like you guys got a good system going on here. Well, if that was everything on the exams, then yes, but we're having some trouble with history. Well, guess that's where I come in. Here, let me take a look. Hey, thank you. Guess it never hurts to ask. Thanks for your help. We'll handle everything on this floor before we end off. Alright, who's back here? Tita and, what's her name? I'm trying to remember. Is it Julia? Jessica. That was close. Are you two studying orbital technology? Not like Tita would need help. For now, yes. I'm going to teach Tita about military science, and she's teaching me about orbits. Okay, that makes sense. I see. Well, doesn't sound like there's much I can help with here. Actually, regarding the usage of orbital AEDs, if you don't mind, can we get a brief overview? I had some questions about its use outside just basic operation. Oh yeah, I was curious about that too. Well, that I can help with. Leave it to me. Yay, thank you. My thanks. I guess that would be helpful since Tita doesn't really... Well, I mean, Tita would know a decent amount about using orbits in the field. Obviously, they all had orbits during the Libero stuff. Looks like you two are reviewing political ethics. Indeed, unlike other subjects, this one incorporates current events. So we thought we could study by reviewing said events. Unfortunately, all these new terms are rather confusing. I've just spent the whole time asking Kurt questions. Sorry for keeping you from your own studying. Not at all. Explaining these concepts to you is an excellent method of review for me. So please, don't worry yourself. You really are a great guy. Haha. Kurt seems to be doing fine, but I might still be able to help out here. Should I help these two study? Yeah, why not? Is it alright if I join you guys? I'd like to try out a quick economics quiz on you two. I see, sounds interesting. Sure, alright. Yeah, I guess you get all full bonding events for this too. There's 5 students in Rain's class, so... Alright, let's start with you, Kurt. What is it called when a market as a whole is down, but one stock is high? I believe that's isolated gain. Good job, that's correct. Your turn, Wayne. What is it called when the market rises and falls drastically in a short time period? Violent waves? Ooh, almost there, but not quite. The term is violent fluctuations, correct? Exactly. Oh, I guess that was close. I see. Next question. Either of you can answer this. What is the term for financial gain generated through ownership of an asset? Did that question stump even you, Kurt? I've narrowed it down to 2 candidates. You happen to know the answer, Wayne? Not completely sure, but a term did pop into my head. Is it capital gain? Capital gain is generated by selling assets, such as stocks, for more than you bought them for. Mixing these two up is a pretty common mistake. In that case, is it income gain, perhaps? Exactly. That was a tough one, but you got it. No, it's simply process of elimination this time. Even so, good job, Kurt. We're both from Heimdallar, but you're so much better at this than me. Oh, you're from the capital too, Wayne? Yeah, though technically there was a short bit where I was elsewhere. But anyway, I'm thankful to Kurt here. I pale in comparison to you, whether it's in studies or practical skills, but someday I'll definitely catch up to you. I'm flattered to hear you say so, however. I will continue to hold my skills as well. They've got quite the spirited relationship. Alright, leaving them off to study. Alright, so next time we'll go and check in on everybody else who's going to be studying for midterms. And I guess see if we can help out a little bit more before ending off for the day. Everyone's going to need as much rest as I can for tomorrow, the next 4 days of midterms. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's going to be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.